Do you ever feel anxious, groggy, just off, even though you're trying to do everything right? The problem might not be so much your brain as it is your gut. So here's what's happening. Your gut and your brain are talking to one another all day long. When your gut is inflamed, it sends distress signals to your brain, and then you feel off. You feel anxious, you have brain fog, you can't think straight, you're trouble concentrating, and you're just tired. And it's a miserable feeling, and the extra cup of coffee isn't working anymore. So why is this happening? When you are, I'm going to cut there. So why is this happening? A very important hormone called serotonin is produced in your gut. And serotonin is a relaxing, feel-good hormone. Stable mood, relaxed, exactly what you're going for. And 90% of it is produced in your gut. So it's only produced, however, in enough abundance when you have enough good bacteria. So if you have an inflamed gut, if you have symptoms like sugar cravings and gas and bloat, or maybe constipation, you know when your gut's off and it's just not feeling right. If you have those symptoms, then likely you have an inflamed gut, and then you're not going to be able to produce the serotonin. When you have enough good bacteria, you make a nice abundance of serotonin, and then that signals a nerve called your vagus nerve to send the signal from your gut to your brain that we have enough serotonin, and then it's released in your brain to do its wonderful effects. So that's the link. So what can you do to kind of normalize this if you've been suffering the way I've been talking about? There's some simple lifestyle things that you can do right away on your own and see how far that takes you, and then I'll give you a plan B as well. So step one is you have to stop the ultra-processed food. So the ultra-processed food, the fast food, the sugary food, excess alcohol, that's got to stop as much as you possibly can, except on very rare occasions. What you want to do instead is eat real food. So fiber, you want to make sure you're getting enough soluble fiber, and also fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, good oils, lean, clean protein. A tip is to get your protein early in the day, and then it will really cut your cravings at night, because a lot of people have cravings at night. So studies have supported that, you get a really nice big breakfast and medium lunch, and you with enough protein, then you won't be needing as much at night, but you also won't have your cravings because your body has been really fueled. And then you can focus on the fiber and the fresh fruits and vegetables, and maybe have a lighter dinner. So that's the real food. And we talked about the bad food. Now, what else do we need to do? You also want to support the vagus nerve. So that is that beautiful connection from the gut to the brain. We want to make sure it's not distressed in any way. So some simple things you can do. One is cold exposure. And an easy way you can start with this, if you have access to a cold plunge, great. But if you don't, in the morning, you can turn your shower to cold and just keep your hands under the cold water and back and forth, getting back in front of your hands, and then splash your face with the cold water. And do that for a couple of minutes. Very good for the vagus. Another thing is a breathing technique called the physiological sigh. And with this, I'm going to demonstrate it, but it's a deep breath in, and you really fill your lungs, and then a slow exhale. So it's a deep breath in, and then an extra at the top. See that extra kind of hiccup? I'm filling my lungs as full as I can possibly get them, and then purse your lips for a very, very, very slow exhale. As slow as you possibly can on the exhale is what helps rebalance the vagus nerve. Another one is humming, but it's a special kind of humming. So it's not the humming, it's a deep, deep hum that you feel the vibration in your chest. So that's what you're going for with the humming. Also in the diet, you can add fermented foods as you tolerate them. Unsweetened yogurt, kimchi, kombucha, things like that are great for the gut. And then also, of course, prioritizing sleep. That's when the body repairs and cleans house. So as far as prioritizing sleep, what I mean by that is getting enough hours, but also getting the good quality. And that's hard to determine on your own. If it's possible to get something like a Whoop band or an Oura ring or a watch. There's a lot of things on the market that you can get an idea of your REM and your deep sleep and therefore your restorative sleep. So that's really helpful. So see how far that gets you. And then if you're still having these issues, then you want to find a clinician who really is savvy in understanding how to optimize your gut function, because you probably need a little bit more help in understanding who the bad bacteria are, or it can be yeast, it could be fungus, it could be parasites, it could be protozoa. It can also be toxin levels of things like mold or heavy metal. So you want to go that next level deeper so that you can get this completely resolved. So I hope you found this interesting. If you did, like, subscribe, share it with a friend who might be suffering with these symptoms, and send me a comment. I love your comments. I answer all of them, and we'll talk soon.